Going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. This week looks very interesting. I really like the setups that we have on SPY and the setup that we have on QQQ. We caught some amazing plays from last week's watch list. If you watched last week's watch list and you go back and look at the AMD setup we had, it literally played out like exactly how the analysis was in the video. Going into this week though, all right, going into some economic data. Wednesday, we have PPI. That is major. It's going to tell us a lot. We also have CPI on Thursday. That is major. Those are the two big events we want to look out for the week. So remember, sometimes it could be a little bit slow the day before CPI. So maybe just be a little bit risk off. I'm going to be looking for higher time frame plays. We also have initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then nothing much on Friday. So other than yeah, consumer sentiment, but Wednesday and Thursday are the big days for economic data this week. As far as the SPY and QQ setups, essentially what happened, guys, right? We sold off right into demand last week. Let's take a look at it. Right at the beginning of the week, Tuesday, we opened up at a major level of demand, which was this like 635 area. Every time we've come to this 635 area, buyers have stepped in very aggressively. So they just buyer stepped in, they picked this thing up all the way to all-time highs. We broke all-time high, but we failed to hold it after the non-farm payrolls report. We failed to hold it, and guess what? We broke back under all-time high and non-farm payrolls low. And now longs were trapped, shorts came in, and all I'm seeing here is a beautiful bear flag, and I have a very interesting level that I want to be trading off of this week, which is going to be Wednesday's high, Thursday's low, and Friday's low. All eyes are on this level. This is the level that if we get down here, we can either look for a balance, but since I'm seeing the bear flag, I want to see the break and retest under. Hopefully, by the time the market opens, we're not already under it, or the game plan can always change by the time the market opens because the pre-market can be completely somewhere different. But if SPY is still above this level and we get a break and retest of the 643 area, 643.6, I'll definitely be looking for a short into 642s, into 642, 641, 640s. Let's see. Let's tell you guys the exact levels I'll watch. So like 642, 641.6. Under that, we have room to like 640.5. I mean, under that, we have a lot of room pretty much back down into these lows down here. So definitely like this 639. And those will be some targets to the downside for SPY. Okay. So that is how I'll be looking to trade SPY. If we get a rejection around this 649, this is also area of interest. Now, if we reclaim where I have these red lines, 649, 650 area, that is a bullish scenario to get us back to all-time highs. Just in case, we got to be ready for that. QQQ, a very similar game plan. I like QQQs a lot also. There's a major level of supply at 577, 578, right? You guys can see what happens here. It rejects, and then it rejects here. And then what happens? We try breaking above it on Friday, but it doesn't hold. After the first 30 minutes of the day, it comes back to retest it and it just sweeps it, completely gets under. So now we're back at Wednesday's high. Thursday was a very respected level, and now this is Friday's low. So 571.6 area, all eyes on that level either for a bounce or if it breaks and retests under, this thing will literally just give us nothing but room to 570, 569, and I'm all eyes on that play. Literally 569 if it gets very weak. 566.8, I like QQs a lot. Wouldn't be surprised if we end up touching these levels down here if we get very weak. The upside scenario is if it reclaims 578. That is the upside scenario. If it gets back above the zone here, then that is a bullish scenario. So always open-minded for that. Also, Apple rejected a major level of supply on Friday, this 241.3 area. As far as individual names, like I said, we caught AMD last week. Just a beautiful play. It was the weakest name on the board, and we've been in it since Tuesday. So we caught a majority of this whole sell-off, for over 70 to 100% on those contracts. Just a beautiful bear flag on those higher time frames. I want to look for one of those type setups again this week. For AMD, I'll look for some type of pullback. Also on AMD, I'll be interested in dip buys around like the 130s. If AMD gets into the 130s, I'll be looking for, September's going to be a great month for us to pick up great companies at a cheaper price. So, very interested in some of these sell-offs to see how we can average into some of these for November, December, October, November, December, right? It's for that rally towards the end of the year. Let's see if we get it. Should be very interesting, especially with if we do get a rate cut. These downside moves can reverse very, very quick, So I'll be very, very interested in picking up the dip on some of these names. So Nvidia will also be another name where I will be looking for a dip buy. Nvidia under this level right here though is a short opportunity. So under 164.6 is a short opportunity to 162 and the 160s. There's a little gap fill from 161 to 160. So it's definitely something that I'm going to be looking for. And then, long term though, dip buy is probably around these areas in the 150s. Is something I'm going to be very, very interested in. But overall, I'm gonna keep the watches very short, guys. Microsoft rejection of 500 looks great also. It had a very weak sell-off. If we pull back into this 500 level and start to reject, we have room to 493 and 488. So that is also another name that I will keep on watch for this week. And actually, Amazon is one of my top setups too. So far, SPY QQ, those are gonna be at the top of the list. I'd say Amazon, Nvidia, and AMD. Those are my top watches. I'll cover Tesla too because people always ask me to chart Tesla. But Amazon basically broke above supply right here, and it's not holding it right now. It's retesting it, and it's not holding it. So if it falls back under, guess what? I'll use it as supply again, and I'll look to short it back down into 226. It also has a gap fill on the daily. Yeah, that's an amazing gap fill. I think Amazon will have room down to 226, potentially even 220. So Amazon with some time could be a great swing. We'll see how that plays out. It's an inside bar inside of this day. Look for a break above or below. If it gets below, 226 is next. And then last but not least, let's do Tesla. Let's clear all this up. Tesla is accumulating, guys. Tesla, I'm very, very bullish on. It's still holding up regardless of these sell-offs. If Tesla gets above 355, it is nothing but room into 363, 367, and above that, guys, like just Tesla's gonna take off into the 380s. So definitely a top watch for the bullish scenario, right? I wouldn't be bearish unless it gets under 320s, really. It's accumulating. Weekly chart looks just extremely bullish. This is a bullish engulfing on the weekly. So definitely something that's gonna take some time. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just squeezes out because it's been consolidating since May. The longer something consolidates, the bigger the move will be when it gets out of that consolidation. So keep a very close eye on Tesla, maybe for some swing trades, some leaps with a few months out. Maybe December contracts could be great into 380s. Keep an eye on it, guys. That's going to be the Sunday watch list. If you guys want to watch me live trade every single day, I'll drop a code in the description. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Definitely take advantage of some of these sell-offs and prepare yourself for the fourth quarter. You guys have a great day. Peace.